Okay.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله صلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فهو مهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن نبينا وأسواتنا محمدا صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وسلم عبد الله ورسوله صادق وعد الأمين أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا وأما بعد عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله يقول الله عز وجل في كتابه المبين from my own weak self, needy self, to have the proper awe and the proper regard for Allah Azza wa Jal. He, subhanahu wa ta'ala, commands us to have this regard for Him, and this reverence known as taqwa, in several ayat of the Quran. And also in the Quran, He talks about the conditions of us having taqwa, instruments. He, subhanahu wa ta'ala, commanded in the Quran, O you who believe, have taqwa for Allah, be regardful for Allah, as He rightfully should be revered, but do not die except as in states of submission. Which leads us to understand that how we start this endeavor of life isn't what is most important. What is most important is how we end this affair. And may Allah Azza wa Jal give us all beautiful endings upon this deen. And He Azza wa Jal talks about in regards to conditions of having taqwa and the benefits. He said the believers are but one brotherhood, so reconcile disputes between your brothers and have taqwa for Allah, be regardful for Allah, in order that you receive mercy, or in order that you receive loving compassion. My brothers and sisters in Islam, we are less than 1 month away from the magnificent month of Ramadan. And our scholars of old would mention that it was commonly said by the scholars of old, of the early righteous Muslims, that Shahr Rajab is the month of, we could say, cultivation. Rajab is a month of cultivating and planting seeds. Sha'ban, this month, which many neglect, is the month of irrigation. Is the month of irrigating, month in which we harvest that, which we cultivated and irrigated. Right? So we have spiritual preparation in order for us to reap our harvests. Just like if someone were to be a professional athlete or a top collegiate athlete, they would have to go through some training before they're able to be a champion to the championship game. Isn't that right? They wouldn't just go and just jump in the game. Right? So in this month of Sha'ban, inshallah, we can continue with the cultivation through irrigation if we started that during the month of Rajab. And if we were heedless, now is a time for us to get on our spiritual jobs and try to prepare ourselves for the blessed month of Ramadan. And may Allah Azza wa Jal bless us in the remainder of Sha'ban and have us live to reach the month of Ramadan. Of this cultivation, there's two things for us to reflect upon. The first is Allah seek assistance through patience, or sabr. It's normally translated as patience, patiently perseverance, and prayer. Surely Allah is with the patient people. A number of the mufassirin, the scholars of the Quran, and all seeking assistance through sabr and salah means seeking divine aid and assistance through the sabab, the means of as-sawm, sawm being synonymous with as-sabr. And actually how we cultivate patient perseverance is through this activity of as-sawm, which lughawi, linguistically, scholars say that as-sawm means al-imsak. Al-imsak. What's imsak? Restraint. Like we have on prayer charts, it says imsak. Spouses, no more drinking, no more eating, and for that matter, no oral intake, including smoking. You shouldn't be smoking argila, hookah, or cigarettes anyway. La darar wa la dirar. Fi hadith sahih. There is no harming oneself, nor reciprocating harm in Islam. You shouldn't be smoking cigarettes anyway. Many of our scholars say it's forbidden. Old rulings say it was makruh until ulama understood the dangers of tobacco. Right? So you shouldn't be smoking after iftar anyway, as we used to see back in the old days when I was in my 20s. SubhanAllah, time goes over 30 years ago. Sometimes you would see the adhan called, and brothers, instead of breaking their fast with tamar and water, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, smoking cigarette, breaking the fast. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-azim. Seek assistance through patience and prayer. Our two mothers and our other mother, Mu'minin Aisha radhiyallahu anha, said there was no month in which the Prophet ﷺ fasted more in outside of Ramadan than Sha'ban. So this is part of this irrigating, of cultivating, of spiritual preparation for the month of Ramadan, is that we should start fasting in the month of Sha'ban. Is it wajib? No. Is it recommended? Sunnah? Yes. Yes. To fast as many days as possible. What are those days at the least we should fast? It's narrated that Rasulullah alayhi salam, in months outside of Ramadan, he would fast no less than 3 days of every Islamic month. But he fasted more in Sha'ban. So at the least, if we are healthy, what should be our spiritual routine? This is a recommendation the faqih is making for himself before I give it to you. Number one, the fast Yawmul Ithnain wa Yawmul Khamis. Or what we would say, Mondays, alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam. So we fast in this spiritual preparation. What else? El-Ayyamul Bid. The 13th, 14th, and 15th day. The nights of El-Ayyamul Bid, the illuminated days, or some say the white days, in which the moon shines at its brightest. We fast those days. So for the remainder, let's try to make the intention to have himmah, that we are going to fast these days, my brothers and sisters in Islam, if we are physically able. If you're not sick, or for the sisters, if you are physically able, you're not on your haid, that you try to fast these days. May Allah Azza wa Jal facilitate this for us. Azza wa Jal said, "As-sawmu li wa ana ajzi bih." As-sawmu li wa ana ajzi bih. Fasting is for me, and I alone reward it. There are different commentaries. The Prophet ﷺ, he had comprehensive speech. He could say a few words, or words that Allah revealed to him, inspired him, that have a lot of meaning. A lot of meaning. Scholars have deduced more than one meaning from this. Of one meaning that has been derived from this is that who can reward us for our salah except for Allah? So Allah rewards for the salah. Our zakah, who rewards us for this? Allah Azza wa Jal. Salah is something that we do. Yes, it's one of the pillars. What about al-Hajj? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards us for Hajj. Correct? What is the difference between siyam or do this? What? Not by ourselves. We're doing this publicly. Isn't this right? People see us praying. And people can see us pray Salat al-Fajr, Salat al-Isha, or Salat al-Tarawih. We are seen and can be witnessed. And you know who the prayer leader is, correct? What about zakah? In these days, normally if we pay zakah to an Islamic institution, at least our name is attached to a debit card or we get some sort of receipt. So somebody knows you paid zakah. You're making tawaf, maybe you get to meet new people on Jabal Arafat. Arafat comes from the word which means that which is known or recognized. Isn't that correct? Al-Hajj al-Arafat min aqwal al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. The Hajj is Arafat. And we're not getting into the meaning of that, but there's a fiqhi meaning behind this. It's literally a sir. It's literally a secret between the one that's fasting and the Lord of the slaves. No one knows if anyone's really fasting in Ramadan. No one knows if anyone is fasting any days of nafila or anything like that. No one knows this. No one knows if someone snuck a cigarette or snuck a candy bar or a Coca-Cola. Or no one knows that. Allah knows. Truthfulness in our intention and also sincerity. Clean intentions, sincerity. This is part of the exercise of our fastings. And this is why we have to make niyyah before the time of fasting for a fast to be accepted. We have to make niyyah in the a'malun bin niyat. Actions are by the intention. So we have to make intention, right? Not this these so-called secular fasting where you do this fast, you don't eat or drink from this time to this time. That's not religious. That's just giving up food. And the Prophet ﷺ also said that. Why? It started off with the niyyah not being right. The niyyah wasn't correct. So many people, they might lose a little weight. Actually, subhanAllah, in one country that I was in, I'm not going to mention which country in the so-called Middle East, people gain weight during Ramadan. They have all these kabsa and all these sorts of halwa, special sweets, and they're getting fat during Ramadan. What type of fast is this? They've missed the understanding, right? It's like the Bani Israel. They say it's Yom Sept. It's the Sabbath. So they threw out their fishing nets before the time of Maghrib. Then they came back the next day to collect all of their fish. Allah said, you didn't observe that. You're cheating. You missed the lesson. This went by the outward law. Sometimes we make that mistake as Muslims, right? We're like Israeli Muslims. I don't mean the Zionists. You see? This is one benefit, my brothers and sisters. So think about this when we are striving to fast, to purify our intentions for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, guiding us, taking us into the month of Ramadan. And we should also keep in mind not being extravagant, right? That's one of the things that Allah says He hates, He does not love extravagance. Right? The next is, some of the scholars say that this is the month of increasing as-salatu ala nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Or I believe for you Urdu speakers you would say Durood Sharif. One of the explanations is an ayah in Surah Al-Ahzab was revealed in Shahr Sha'ban. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Surely Allah and His angels send salah upon the Prophet. O you who believe, send salah upon him and salute him continuously with salam. Continuously with salam. This ayah was revealed. Sahaba, may Allah be pleased with them. Hadith mutawatir. See, we have some hadith that we say khabar ahad, or it can be a singular report. It's sahih, but maybe it comes through one narrator. Or maybe it's Sahih, but it's Aziz, it comes through two men. But as Suyuti mentions this, that if a hadith, how do we send salah upon you? Right? There was a command, and the Sahaba always waited for us. Basically, we can call mujmal. They're general. Salah. This is a general command. We don't know how to fulfill Aqimus Salah without Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaching us how to pray, the times of prayer, what type of rak'ah, what are the number of the rak'ah, what's the tartib, what's the order. This is why the people who are known as Ahlul Quran, they're deviants, or Quraniyun, not Ahlul Quran. They're not Ahlul Quran, but they're known as Quraniyun, the people who reject hadith. You cannot. يا رسول الله كيف نصلي عليك؟ فقال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام قولوا اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم. الحديث. O Allah, send salah upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, just as you have sent salah upon Ibrahim, and the family of Abraham, or Ibrahim. Which we say in our prayers, both our fara'id and also in our nawafil. In our obligatory prayers and in our sunnah prayers, we say this. And we should say this in different formulas, because this is this command is something that is, some scholars have said it is unrestricted. Right? So we say it not just in the prayer, but outside the prayer. When we hear his name, we should say the prayers and peace be upon him. When we're sitting somewhere for dhikr, for time, at the Salatul Subh, at Salatul Maghrib, we should take some time, at least that's what I was taught, your brother was taught, to take some time afterwards, set a number, and send As-salatu ala Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. It's part of your daily spiritual routine. It's part of the daily spiritual routine. And this should be increased. And what are the benefits of this? Also, hadith that in its ma'nawi is mutawatir. Ma'nawi. It comes in different wording. We have hadith that are mutawatir, that are called lafzi, that are verbatim, and then ma'nawi, in meaning. This is important to understand. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم من صلى علي مرة صلى الله عليه عشرا. He said, whoever sends salah upon me one time, Allah sends salah upon him 10. What are the meanings of this? One of the meanings is Mujahid bin Jabir rahimahullah ta'ala. He's one of the top students of Ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Abbas. Anhuma. One of the jurists. He's one of the fuqaha amongst the Sahaba. He was given the title of the interpreter of the Quran. Ibn Abbas. No talibul ilm can be a true student of knowledge and not have read about and going through the opinions of Ibn Abbas. Impossible. Not just for Ahlul Sunnah, even for Shia. Impossible. This was his chief student in tafsir, Mujahid bin Jabir. He said that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the salah upon us, it carries the meaning of a tawfiq, that when we go about doing things that Allah grants us goodness in our endeavors, and also spiritual protection, al-isma. Not isma like a prophet, but al-isma, that it protects us from harm. Number one, the firstly of that is spiritual harm. In this As-Salatu ala Nabi, it also continues to fortify our spiritual connection to Al-Habib al-Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. We're supposed to love him, correct? If we love someone, the lover doesn't forget the beloved. It's not possible. If we love someone, we cannot forget our beloved. My beloved father passed away 1 month today, rahmatullahi alayhi. I think about him constantly. Why? Because the lover cannot forget the beloved. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we know the well hadith, narrated by Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is supposed to be more beloved to us than our own selves. What else? More beloved to us than our parents, our children, when nasi ajma'in, all of humankind. So if we're not remembering the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam during our day, we're making a false claim if we claim that we love him. It's a false claim, it's not real. Or there's something deficient. So we take time and we remember him, alayhi salam, and we send prayers and peace upon him. And Allah is continuously raising his maqam. Our singing salah salam upon him is not benefiting him. It's benefiting us. Because Allah says, Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi. Allah and his angels are in perpetuity singing salah and salam upon him. What can be better than Allah singing salah upon his Habib sallallahu alayhi wasallam? We can't even fathom what that means intellectually. We can't even fathom what that means in its meanings, its understanding. It's too deep for us to intellectually understand. It benefits us. It strengthens our bonds and our connection to Al-Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So my brothers and sisters in Islam, as we conclude this first khutbah, number one, this is the month of irrigation. We're less than 1 month from Ramadan. Let's try to fast as much as we can in the rest of Sha'ban, but especially the next upcoming Mondays and Thursdays, and then the 13th, 14th, and 15th of Sha'ban. My brothers and sisters in Islam, أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم استغفر الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد الأمين وعلى آله الطاهرين ورضوان الله تعالى على أصحابه الراشدين والتابعين لهم بخير وإحسان إلى يوم الدين وعلينا معهم وفيهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين فرج عن المسلمين. Beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, 2 brief comments before we have Iqamah. Number one, I'm sure many of you have seen on the news what's been going on with immigration customs enforcement, with the ICE around the country. It's been the worst in Minneapolis, targeting our Somali brothers and sisters. May Allah protect our Somali brothers and sisters. We haven't seen a racist attack. I'm African American. I haven't seen a racist attack against a group of people like this since my parent generation. SubhanAllah. And they're black people. Black people always get the worst in America. Believe me when I tell you. We will be having an online Know Your Rights presentation, Karen, Michigan, along with the Sugar Law Center on Tuesday at 7 p.m. You can go to our social media to get the link. Care, Michigan, we will be doing a Know Your Rights presentation. We had one last night with the Flint community. Zoom can only take 100 people. It filled up. People were trying to get on. It was over 100 people. But briefly, anyone who's here on a green card or visa, you must keep your green card, your paperwork or visa on you at all times. If you not have it on you, you most likely will get arrested. And we've heard cases about ICE picking up people and roaming around in Warren and in Dearborn in particular. You must have it on you. If you don't have it on you, start driving around with your paperwork, or else you may get arrested. And how the courts are today, you may not get out. And you may not get deported back to your country where you came from. You may get deported back to you might get deported to El Salvador or Kenya or Ghana or something. That's the first thing. So go on our social media, 7 p.m. Tuesday. Especially for those of you who are immigrants in particular, you need to understand your rights and take proper precautions. We all have to understand the time that we live in. I always say this all the time. As American Muslims, we must understand el-makan wa zaman. The place we're in and the time. We'll understand the place and time we're in, we're lost. The second thing is, we lost a mountain of a man yesterday in our community. Imam Nadir Ahmed, who started the LA Class Training Academy. He returned back to Allah yesterday. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. His janazah will be at the Muslim Center tomorrow, inshallah, at 1:30 p.m. So basically, how they have the timing, they have iqama for dhuhr at 1 o'clock. So basically, after that, then they will have janazah prayer for him to be buried in the Woodmere Cemetery. That's right where Masjid Dearborn, Masjid Dix, is right there, right? I believe this man was beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can't even go into all the things that he did, right? But he's someone worthy that if you cannot go and fulfill his right to go to his janazah and follow the janazah, to at least make dua for him. I can tell you, as someone who used to be the board chairman of that school, he ran that school and didn't take a single penny for salary. I don't even know how he supported himself or got through the school year. At one point, there was a problem of leaving the school building, and we were wondering about where the school was at. He said, Wallahi, I swear to Allah, that if it comes to teaching our children Islamic school, I will set up school underneath a tree and teach our children underneath a tree. It's hard to describe. But when there are some rijal, they are like jibal. There are some men who are like mountains. When you look at their yaqeen and you look at their zuhud, you think, subhanAllah, these stories I read about Umar ibn Khattab, Ali ibn Abi Talib, these just aren't things that are stories. You can see these in rijal. They're like jibal to this day, living amongst us. He's one of those types of people, by Allah. And our Sheikh Mustafa is here. He can testify to what I'm saying. Right? So we had to mention that, my brothers and sisters in Islam. We ask Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive him of all of his sins, to have mercy upon him, to pardon him from all of his mistakes. We ask Almighty Allah Azza wa Jal to make his qabr spacious. We ask Almighty Allah Azza wa Jal to grant him Jannah Firdawsul A'la bighayri hisab. We ask Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect him from the punishment of the qabr and the punishment of the fire. We ask Almighty Allah Azza wa Jal to shower his widow, his wife, with sabr, and to grant her shifa from her cancer. We ask Almighty Allah Azza wa Jal to shower patience upon all of the students and all of the staff at Allah Class Training Academy, and to increase them in their rizq, ya Rabbil Alameen. We ask Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive